Hello, today we're going to explore volume of rectangular prisms using the area of the base times the height. Now we have been exploring volume given length times width times height, which ultimately we have learned that length times width is the area of your base times your height will help you find the volume of the given rectangular prism. Today you're going to see many problems just like this. In this example, 6 cubic units fit in one layer of a box. The box holds 4 layers. What is the volume of the box? Now notice that 6 cubic units, that in fact is this spot right here. Now notice here, this is my base and 6 cubic units is the area of my base. I can find the area of my base doing two things. In this example, in fact, I can count the cubes I see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 cubes create my base. I can also see that my length is 1, 2, 3 units here. And in fact, my width, 1, 2, is 2 units here. And we know that 3 times 2 is 6, and that gives me 6 cubic units as my area of my base is 6 units squared. That's the area of my base. Now what I'm going to do to find my volume is I'm going to use the area of my base that is given to me, which is also length times width, and now I'm simply going to multiply it by my height. Now my height is 4 units because I have 4 layers that will ultimately create this rectangular prism. This is layer 1, layer 2, layer 3, layer 4. Those 4 layers are known as my height. Now 6 times 4 happens to be 24, which is where I have 24 units cubed, or you can even say cubic units, as the volume of this rectangular prism. When you are finding the volume of rectangular prisms, you can simply do the area of the base times your height, or length times width times height. That is all you need to do to find the volume. In this next problem, you are given a base area of 42 square feet. Your height is 7 feet. You are asked to find the volume. Now, just like the previous problem, my volume is the area of my base, which is 42, and I determine that by my length times my width times my height of 7. Now this is a problem where do not hesitate to use scrap paper to write out your multiplication problem. So 42 times 7, notice I'm using scrap paper to do this, which is absolutely fine, giving me 294 as my final answer for the volume of this rectangular prism. When the numbers get much larger, you might not be given a drawing of the rectangular prism, and in fact even this base area of 42 square feet, and using, if I was to use 42 cubes to create that, that would be a lot of cubes. So many problems, they might just describe the rectangular prism, but you have to be able to read the problem to identify what is given and identify what you need to find. So the answer to this problem is 294 units cubed, or you could say 294 cubic units as well. In this problem, you are given a drawing. It's asking you what are the dimensions of the rectangular prism. Now, they didn't say anything about finding a volume. They just want us to identify our length, our width, and our height. We're always going to look first at the base of my rectangular prism. By looking at my base here, my longest side length happens to be 4. So here my length is 4. So I'll do L equals 4 units. I'll do a U for units, and my width here is 3 units. And now I need to find how my height, how tall this rectangular prism is. 1, 2, 3, and over here I'll just put height equals 3 units. So if I was to describe my dimensions, I can write my dimensions as 4 times 3 times 3, which could be a choice, today. You might see this as a multiple choice problem and you have to select the appropriate measurements for the given rectangular prism. So this is all you simply have to do when they're asking you for the dimensions. You don't need to start multiplying, you just have to identify the dimensions of the rectangular prism. Now the next question says, what is the volume of this rectangular prism? Now I'm going to label my dimensions one more time. Okay, my 4 units, which I just did in the previous problem. And notice if you wrote this on scrap paper, you could have already just used this. Now we are actually going to find the volume. So now in this problem, you're actually going to multiply. So here 4 times 3, the area of my base is 12 times my height of 3, which is going to give me 36 units cubed or cubic units as the volume of my rectangular prism. As a reminder, to find the volume, all you are doing is doing your area of the base times your height. Or you can simply do length times width times height to help you find the volume of any rectangular prism. As always, feel free to refer back to this video at any time on my YouTube channel.